Hey, how's everybody doing? Brother Phil here. Wanted to come on and share a word with you guys. Um, the title of the video is Joshua a false prophet? And I'm going to answer that question very quickly by saying that from what we can see, yes. Now, before you judge me, just hear me out here, because Joshua did serve a purpose. Now, I know I'm going to upset some of you guys by saying that it's obvious that 923, 924 was not the rapture of the church. However, if you watch my videos before, I told you guys that something, somebody, some event will get people's eyes on the Feast of Trumpets and the second coming of Jesus Christ. The rapture of the church will bring light to that, and something had to do that. Now, the only way I can say that Joshua is not false is by saying that maybe the time was delayed, but that's about it. So if you to walk up to the scene of the crime and Joshua was saying, I bet 1,000,000,000% that Jesus was coming back on 923, 924. If that's the scene of the crime, you're innocent until proven guilty. Now, we don't know the outcome of, we don't know right now how everything is going to turn out. We just don't know that. But we do know is the rapture didn't happen. So let's not fool ourselves, and let's not sit up and be ignorant because the first thing Jesus said in Matthew 25 is do not be deceived. Now, I don't think Joshua came out purposely to deceive. What I think could have happened, like I said earlier, is that the world is not going to understand prophecy, regardless of what you think. The world's not going to understand prophecy because we don't even understand it, and we're looking for him to come back. So I'm saying to you guys, everybody asks me, do you think the rapture is going to happen on 923, 924? I said, I don't know. It could. I'm looking for it, but it could. It may not. And the reason why I said that is because I believe by the time, because Jesus made a point to say you won't know the day and hour, but the Bible says you'll know when you see the day approaching. And in Thessalonians, it says that day will not overtake you as a thief. So if we look at everything together, even right now, what would just happen, there is some confusement. Because a lot of people believe that Feast of Trumpets is the time, and it still might be the time on the actual calendar. It's more confusing now than ever. But that means, okay, so let's look at it this way. You get back up on the next Feast of Trumpets, and it's coming, right? We can see it coming. And now we're not going to be so sure. But some of us are going to have a lot of confidence. Some of us are not going to have any confidence. But still, we're waiting. And if it's it, I'll go. I'm good. It's not going to be 100%. You know what I mean? I wasn't 100% on 9/23, but I was getting ready to go. I was ready to go. I lost more confidence on October 6th and 7th, but I'm like, God, I'm still ready. I'm still ready. I'm clearing my heart. What was another date that they gave? The 16th and 17th? I kind of even forgot about that. But what if it would have happened? I still was ready to go. I was watching. In a way, I'm still watching. I've never stopped watching. Every single day, I've never stopped watching. It gets tiring, so it gets tiring. It gets exhausting when you're watching and then things die back down. I don't know if y'all remember watching my videos and I said I wouldn't be surprised if everything just died out. Why did I say that? Because we've been through this before. Am I a scoffer my own self? No, I'm just saying we've been through this before. It's not hard to understand. We've been through this before. What do I see? What do I think is going to happen? I'm be really honest with you guys. I don't have 20-something thousand subscribers, 30-something thousand subscribers. Had I stayed on YouTube the whole time, I will probably have that many. I'm kind of glad I don't, because then that means I don't have to answer to a lot of people. You should never have to answer to anybody anyway. You should be doing God's work. I'm gonna give y'all my honest to goodness thought and what I thought on 9/23, 9/24. I didn't see enough stuff. Don't get mad at me. Don't throw anything at me. I just believe Israel's going to really tick people off. And here's how they're going to do it. Israel's going to take land. They're going to take so much land. They're going to actually kick Egypt's tail. They're going to dominate Jordan. And they're gonna take over Iraq. That all that land, they're gonna claim it as their own. And there's some signs that that's gonna happen in the Bible. The closer we get to Christ's return, the more the Bible doesn't call it perilous times for nothing. As you can see, I don't know if that's gonna the food stamp crisis on November 1st. I don't know if that's really gonna go through or not. They might try to solve it by then, but it does show you a shadow of things to come. And I was watching some videos this morning about 3 o'clock. I'm still sleepy from it. And I was watching videos about the fall of America. And it was comparing Spain, the Empire of Spain, Britain, and Rome. And it was saying how they fell and what cycles they fell, what cycles did they follow. And America has followed the same cycles that the rest of those empires have followed. You know, you have economic, problems with their currency, debasing the currency. You have military over expenditures. You're spending too much money on the military. I think you could spend money on the military, but not to a point where you get over, trying to build an empire or something. I think that's what's happening is we're following the same path as other great empires, and America will be 250 years old next year. 250 years old. If you average out all the great empires, they only last about their greatest influence they're selling, they only last for 250 years per average. And that seems to be what America's doing now. Now, I see within Trump, I see someone who thinks they are, and maybe the elite lied to him and told him that he is the person that's going to lead the world into the New World Order. Maybe that's what the golden age was. Or maybe Trump is running a drill or some type of a planned test to see what people's response would be during peacetime if someone starts to act like a dictator. And I'm more closer to Republicans than I am a Democrat. I'm way off the scale from after Republican. I'm before Republicans. If you have a big line and the Republicans are this way and Democrats are this way, I'm over here somewhere. I'm way over on this side. So you know I'm not showing any favoritism. It's impossible for me to vote for a Democrat. It's just impossible for me to even entertain any of their ideas, because a lot of the ideas that they're having seems to be ironing out to a point of they're just looking for a vote. That's what it looks like. All of them politicians are just looking for a vote, even Trump. So it sounds like Trump, during his rallies was really sincere, but Trump wasn't a great speaker. I mean, I'm not trying to be mean or nothing, but he's not that much of a great speaker. And people, they say he's the Antichrist. He's not even that great of a speaker. So I think when the Bible talks about the Antichrist having a mouth speaking great things, I also think his conotone would be great as well. His oratorial voice, like Martin Luther King or John F. Kennedy, or, we don't know what Abraham Lincoln sounded like, but we know by off his speeches that he's a great speaker. And I think the Antichrist will have a great speaking voice. That's just my opinion. Okay, so what do I think is going to happen? Does it matter? I'm just a nobody, but I'll just let you know anyway. What do I think could happen in the next year? I believe that there'll be a spring war or summer war somewhere in there, and this war would enlarge Israel's territory, and it has to be early enough for them to get really confident and start tearing down the walls in Israel. So that'll put us around September of next year sometime. And this time, when the Feast of Trumpets come up, if it happens to be the Gregorian calendar that he's working off of, nobody's going to believe it. A lot of people are going to be watching on all the watch times, and we have Christians that do that. But I believe if it's the Feast of Trumpets or if it's on whatever calendar it's on, we'll see it coming. I think he's working with the calendar that Israel's working with. And I know that's hard to believe, but I think that's what he's working on. He's working on the Hebrew calendar. And people say, well, it's 13 days late. Well, wherever they're looking at, that's what he's doing. I'm not going to just come out and say that during the time everybody else is keeping hope on the, Julian calendar or the Enoch calendar. I'm not the type of person to come out and say, oh, you guys are wrong. I kind of like just let it go for a while. I got the sun right on my face like a muzzle, and I'm hating that. So I'm going to go ahead and end this video in a few seconds. Anyway, I think Ezekiel 38 and 39 could be something we're looking at during the time of the rapture, and that's how people know that's what time it is. It could be Ezekiel 38 and 39 could be, I'm going to move this over here. Ezekiel 38 and 39 could be the war of Gog and Magog, could be at the time of the rapture of the church. Also, before that, causes them to invade Israel is Damascus being blown up. I mean, that's just something I've always thought that could be the case. But I also said that it can come, the rapture of the church can come on just an ordinary, well, not an ordinary day. It'll still be a specific day, but I've always said it'd be a timed event. And I've never said that it will come on just any day. Now, getting back to Joshua brought attention to that time, to the whole world. So now the rapture is on stage. And I believe that everything that goes with the rapture, everything goes with the Bible prophecy is on stage. I literally told you guys, because one guy says, yeah, you should know a false prophet when you see one. Well, technically, we were looking for the Feast of Trumpets before Joshua even came up. And if it is the Feast of Trumpets, I was saying that you need some event, somebody has to draw attention to that. And that happened. The rapture just didn't happen, but it drew a lot of attention to that feast day and in the rapture of the church. So now people all around the world who did not know about the rapture now knows about the rapture. And I also said that to keep hope alive, remember on Jesse Jackson, keep hope alive. In order to keep hope alive, I also said that maybe it was a delay in its coming. We don't know. Well, now, we don't know if that's a delay or not. Maybe that wasn't it at all. Or maybe it was a delay. So could it be a delay? And I know people don't want to hear this, but could it be a delay of a little bit later on, like a year from here or 2 years from here? Yeah, it could be. Could it still happen now? Yeah, still can happen. Do I believe it's gonna happen right now? I don't know. I don't see enough stuff happen. I'm just saying to you guys that they're saying peace and safety. It doesn't mean they have to say it in a week's time period or a day time. I mean, that could just be the new era of peace and safety. That could be just an era by itself. And Israel they're gonna have to take out Hamas, period. They're not gonna keep playing footsie with Hamas. And another thing is, I'm not so certain that America is going to continue to back Israel. I think Israel's going to have to go it alone, and they're gonna do some stuff that is even going to tick America off, and Israel's going to take out all their. They're just going to say, you know what, we're done. We're not playing no more, and I think that's coming. I think on the radar, what could happen in the next couple of weeks is that Israel does hit Iran, or Iran tries to hit Israel. Israel takes Iran out, but it could even happen next spring that happens, where it's close enough to next fall, and go from there. Well, we'll see. We'll see what's going to happen. We don't know right now. That's what makes Bible prophecy fun. Keep your head up, keep looking up, make sure your robe is being clean. Make sure you keep your eyes on Jesus. You never know what can happen in these days that we're living in. It's going to get worse before Christ returns. And we're here for another year. I mean, I'm seeing things that's happening and families that Satan's attacking big time. I see things that's happening, you know, stalkers and people robbing stores, and I mean, just all kinds of things. People getting murdered for no apparent reason. So some have reasons, but there's never any reason to murder anybody. Anyway, God bless you guys. I'll keep coming on these 20-minute videos. I'll try to shorten them. Thank you. God bless. See y'all later.